for Q&A. Brothers, uncover your head. Sisters, cover your head as we face Jerusalem in prayer.
Our Father which art in heaven,
Our Father which art in heaven,
hallowed be thy name.
hallowed be thy name.
Thy kingdom come,
Thy kingdom come,
thy will be done in earth,
thy will be done in earth
as it is in heaven.
as it is in heaven.
Give us this day our daily bread,
Give us this day our daily bread,
and forgive us our debts,
and forgive us our debts,
as we forgive our debtors.
as we forgive our debtors.
And lead us not into temptation,
And lead us not into temptation,
but deliver us from evil.
but deliver us from evil.
For thine is the kingdom,
For thine is the kingdom,
and the power,
and the power,
and the glory,
and the glory,
forever.
forever.
In Jesus' holy name,
In Jesus' holy name,
amen.
amen. All right, the floor is open for Q&A. Any questions you had during the week or pertaining to the lesson?
So, since we're on the topic of Netanyahu and what he said during the week, so I'm of the understanding that that they worship the devil and whatnot, right?
Mhm.
It's also to my belief that they also like the devil also has powers that they could give to them, like blessings they could give to them.
Mhm.
So I'm wondering now, because also what you said, so like, is it possible for the Most High to leave them be if they serve a purpose and not like say like all any of Esau?
Like,
Because like say for example like some people when they denounce the Most High and like later on they suddenly die because
Mhm.
they still ill against the Most High, but like we're saying if they still have a purpose, maybe it's not their time yet for the Most High to take them away.
mhm.
That's just my thoughts.
Yeah, you could actually see that with the abomination of desolation, right? That make it desolate. Like, he also blasphemes and says crazy stuff, but he has a time appointed. You guys, so let's go look at that. Because you can see him blaspheming God, right? The saints, and he has a specific time that's appointed for him. God doesn't just say, okay, you blaspheme, boom, killed him right there. You know, his time appointed was 3.5 years. I'm gonna kill you after that. You know? So let's go to let's see, I'm trying to see which one I should do first. Okay, hit Daniel. Let's look at Daniel first. So let's look at Daniel 11, right? And let's look at verse 31. Now, this is the abomination of desolation. We're not saying Netanyahu is the abomination of desolation, but you can see that even this man here is going to blaspheme. And God, he has an appointed time. So yes, you're right. Sometimes somebody could say something blaspheme, but God like, you know what? I'll save you for the end. Because the wicked is reserved for when?
Yes.
The end. You know? Right? So pick it up at verse 31.
Daniel 11 and verse 31.
Mm-hmm.
And arm shall stand on his part. And arm shall stand on his part, and they shall pollute the sanctuary of strength, and shall take away the daily sacrifice, and they shall place the abomination that maketh desolate.
Mm-hmm.
And such as do wickedly against the covenant shall he corrupt by flatteries. But the people that do know their God shall be strong, and do exploits.
Mm-hmm.
And they that understand among the people shall instruct many. Yet they shall fall by the sword, and by flame, by captivity, and by spoil many days.
So God is not hiding anything from us, first of all. Like, he's telling us what is going to happen to us, right? Even those with understanding. You're going to fall. A lot of us are going to die. right? That's what he's telling us. So we have to prepare ourselves like, hey, I might have to die for this, right? You might have to die for what you believe. People have died for less, right? People have died for $1. What you want to die for? No, I'm just speaking. It's not asking you like, I'm just speaking out loud. Like, He's like, man, I don't want to die.
Right? He starts really thinking.
But people will die. Like you see people die for civil rights. This one will die for this. Right? They give their life for these things. I want to give my life. I would rather give my life for this. Right? Go ahead, my brother.
Verse 34.
Mm-hmm.
Now when they shall fall, they shall be holpen with a little help,
Mm-hmm.
but many shall cleave to them with flatteries. And some of them of understanding shall fall, to try them, and to purge, and to make them white, even to the time of the end,
Mm-hmm.
because it is yet for a time appointed. And the king shall do according to his will, and he shall exalt himself and magnify himself above every god, and shall speak marvelous things against the God of gods, and shall prosper till the indignation be accomplished.
Till how when?
Till the indignation
So
be...
he's allowed to do all of these things till the ignition be accomplished. So he's allowed to what verse was that you just read?
The end of 36.
End of 30, right? And the king shall do according to his will, and shall exalt himself and magnify himself above every god, and shall speak marvelous things against the God of gods. He's speaking against God himself, the God of gods, right? And shall prosper. He's saying this man is going to prosper. God is allowing him to prosper for this time, right? Till when? Till the indignation be accomplished. Something has to be accomplished. That time that he was given has to be accomplished, right? So yeah, he could blaspheme. He could say whatever he wants. Maybe his time is not accomplished yet. I don't know, right? For what?
For that is determined shall be done.
See what he says? For that is it was already determined that this is the amount of time this man is going to get. How long the Inyahu has? I don't know. He wants to blaspheme God? Go ahead. Right? Go ahead. He should know better. He has the same book. Right? But what?
Verse 37. Neither shall he regard the God of his fathers, nor the desire of women, nor regard any God, for he shall magnify himself above all.
So we see this guy had magnified himself above every God, everybody, whoever they are. And he's speaking real crazy, right? Go ahead.
But in his estate shall he honor the God of forces,
Mm-hmm.
and a God whom his fathers knew not shall he honor with gold and silver, and with precious stones and pleasant things.
Mm-hmm.
Thus shall he do in the most strongholds with a strange God, when he shall acknowledge and increase with glory, and he shall cause them to rule over many, and shall divide the land for gain. And at that time,
No, that's good for that, right? It says it again in Revelation. Was that good for you there, though?
Yeah.
Showing you that, yeah, he could blaspheme, but
If he has
because Revelation pretty much gives you the same thing that this is saying, because you thinking like, man, he blaspheming. You seen like judgment most of the time, God.
No, 'cause I remember we were talking like a while back, like I think it was like last year or 2 years ago. There was an actor that did like a movie scene where he was like blaspheming God, and then next thing you know, he had a car attack again. So everybody has
A lot of
their
people
time.
that have done that.
Yeah, a lot of people they have their time. When it's their time, then
Yeah, look at the actor. What's his name?
I don't remember his name. But
No, there was another actor.
There was one Black Panther.
Yeah, he also did this in that
was
movie
him.
scene. He did. I saw that.
I'm not sure who else though.
Oh, I'll do when I read something. And then a week later.
You got a question?
Oh yeah. So
Hit the mic so they can hear you online.
So I was thinking, I was watching a video, and it was talking about things that we've been shown, like germs, for example, like videos in space and all these different types of things.
Mm-hmm.
And then it comes to find out, like, no one's ever seen, no one's ever seen DNA or seen germs, but out of the Bible, we understand, like, people would get sick,
Mm-hmm.
and like the sickness would be a spirit, or
Mm-hmm.
like there's things happening in the background. So when the Lord had, when they was talking about Job, and then Satan was the person who came and did the damage, where he got the boils and was able to touch all these things. So I'm just kind of thinking about, but the Bible also talks about, like Jesus referred to them when they talked about it's not what puts into your body. It's not what comes out. It's what you put in. So kind of when they were talking about that, and so he made a reference about washing of the hands as a tradition. So I'm just trying to see, like, is there truth to being clean, like meaning and relating that to getting sick, or is it getting sick is based off of if the Lord lets these spirits get you sick?
If I may like add on to that, doesn't it also like speaking in the Bible about making sure the food is properly cooked? There's also food in our germs in our meat also.
Well, that's why the whole concept of germs, that's why I brought it up. Like, germs is something made up. Like, not made up, but that's what they told us is, but we see in the Bible sickness and stuff like that were by spirits. So it's like, so meaning if someone says, oh, watch out because there's germs, is it the Lord that's like, nah, like like it's not about the germs, you was supposed to get in trouble, so like this is what happened, you're sick now? Or is it, man, I didn't wash my hands, so I got myself sick? Or is it because you didn't use your wisdom that you knew, you should be clean, and now because you didn't use wisdom to be clean, now you're sick, and because you're sick, God uses everything for good, so it's just an occasion to punish you for being sick. So so I'm thinking about
basically, like, is it a spirit doing it, or are you just getting sick?
Yes, is that a spirit doing it? And also, I want, since we're talking about spirits, like the kind of second component to the question is, you had mentioned it in your lesson, and it was like, I was thinking about it deeper. Death, right? Because death is going to be in hell, in the lake of fire. So, is death a spirit?
Anything that causes death.
So, like, meaning, it's like there's the spirit of death, but is there, like, these spirits have different roles. Satan's the accuser, they have all these different things. So now, that spirit called death, that's what he does. Like, that's what it, what I'm saying? Or I'm just trying to grasp a more practical sense of what death is, because I didn't think about it like that. But I get it when they say the Grim Reaper, but yeah.
When you read all these things are going to be cast into the lake of fire, do you ever read where his angels get cast with him?
That's what I was looking at that today. But then
death and what?
Hell.
Who brings death and hell?
Satan.
His angels, right?
Right.
So death and hell was cast where?
And that's why I was
in the lake of fire, right? So you could see that because Satan, the lake of fire was prepared for who? Satan and his angels, right? Who gets cast after Satan gets cast in the lake of fire? Then you see death and hell cast into the lake of fire. But to answer your first question, right? About whether or not it's a spirit or whether or not it's just like a disease. Let's go look at Matthew 8. Right? Matthew 8. And let me see where we can pick it from. Oh, wait. Matthew 8. So pick it up from 14. We'll just go right into it because it doesn't give us no context coming into it. Jesus heals the centurion, and after that, he's headed to Peter's house, right? So pick it up from there, 14.
Matthew 8 and 14. And when Jesus was come into Peter's house, he saw his wife's mother laid and sick of a fever. And he touched her hand, and the fever left her, and she arose and ministered unto them. When the even was come, they brought unto him many that were possessed with devils, And he cast out the spirit with his word, and healed all that were sick.
And heal all that were what?
Sick.
Because what was causing them to have that sickness?
The devil.
Devils. Right? So, how did the devils get access to even get to them? How did that spirit get into David's house? How did he open the door for that spirit to get
He
into his
allowed
house?
sin to walk through the
He
door.
sinned.
Yeah.
So that ain't what was?
Spirit of death.
No, it was war. It was war that came through his house, right?
Right,
he
right,
says
right.
he actually. I'm
Well, the
misquoting
punishment
it.
was like his house would be divided, and right, his kingdom would be split.
You know, no, the specific was like war shall not depart from thy house or something.
Oh,
Let me-
yeah,
that's
yeah.
why I want to go read it just so I don't
Right,
I don't misquote it. But let's continue reading that.
The sword.
The sword shall not depart from your house. That was it, right? Go ahead.
Verse 17. That it might be fulfilled which was spoken
Oh,
by.
no. That was all we need to hear from there, right? But let's look at Mark, right? Because we see that it was the devils, right,
Mm-hmm.
making these people sick.
Right.
Because everybody came. And it says when the evening was come, they brought unto him many that were possessed with devils, and he cast out the spirits with his words and healed all that were sick. They were sick.
Now, sick. In this context,
Mm-hmm.
is there? You know how some things could have different meanings. Like, was it sick in a sense where, like, someone who doesn't have the word of God, I could be
Let's
like,
go look
it's
at it
sick.
more.
Okay.
Let's go look at them all. Let's go to Mark. Mark might give us a different. Yeah. Mark chapter 1. And let's see what it was. Pick it up from verse. Pick it up from verse 30.
Mark chapter 1 and verse 30. But Simon's wife's mother lay sick of a fever, and anon they tell him of her.
Mm-hmm.
And he came and took her by the hand, and lifted her up, and immediately the fever left her, and she ministered unto him,
Mm-hmm.
unto them. And that even when the sun did set, they brought unto him all that were diseased.
So over here we heard before in Matthew's account it said they were sick, right? But here it's telling they were diseased, and what?
And them that were possessed with devils.
And them that were possessed with devils, right? Go ahead.
And all the city was gathered together at the door, and he healed many that were sick of divers diseases, and cast out many devils, and suffered not the devils to speak, because they knew him.
Right. So we seeing that devils are linked to even your sickness. You know, like, so what's causing the sickness? Is it the germs or is it the devils? Is that kind of what you're asking?
Yeah.
Is the devils using the germs? That I really don't know. I'm gonna be very honest with you. I might have to ask my teachers a little bit more on that.
But now I'm even questioning, even germs are they not even? That's not even real.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Like, that's what they told us. So, because now that's how I came to that.
Mhm.
Because no one's ever seen a germ.
But they are real.
With
They,
microscope.
yeah, it's
Huh?
just
It's
just
under
zoom in and we can see them.
microscope.
Huh? You've seen a germ?
And
Or they've shown you
microscope.
They've shown you pictures of it. No one's seen a germ.
But we've seen different bacteria.
We've
like
seen-
in school,
we've
you have
seen-
seen
yeah,
We've
you've
seen things
seen
that are small. I understand. I'm not denying. We've seen things that are small. There's microorganisms, so like we know which is a term. But as far as it getting us sick, I don't know.
You saying like the germs are spiritual?
Because if I'm
are the
talking-
germs.
If I'm talking with not the terms of spiritual. If we're talking with understanding, we see that people who were sick, it was like disease, and that meaning angels were doing it. Now, I don't know. That's where I don't know. Like, you know, how they go about getting you sick. Is it because there are germs and the germs is being sick, or is it because the angels? Because when they cause who's gonna be here
Here's
and
some-
says I'll come, I'll be a lying spirit. So they thought about what type of tactic they're gonna use to come at you. You know what I'm saying? So it's warfare, right? So now I'm just thinking about, okay, boils in the body. You know, Lot had boils in his body. Like it wasn't like, oh, he didn't shower and then the germs. No, the you know what I'm saying?
Well, I would
That
say
whole-
germs. do exist because even in the Leviticus, in the law, he does tell you that if somebody spit on you or they have an issue,
Right.
go wash that off.
So he gave his germ theory.
Yes, so we
Never
do
mind.
have that.
Yeah.
There is, you know what I'm saying? Like even with the leprosy, you gotta be careful with that.
Like the quarantine, the
You gotta quarantine that
quarantine,
person. So
yeah,
we
yeah,
do have,
What's that,
You know-
vitiligo?
huh?
What, leprosy is vitiligo?
No.
Oh, I thought-
No, leprosy is a skin
Leprosy is
eating
leprosy.
disease. Like it eats you. You know, like
Somebody from, I'm not gonna put him on blast, but somebody said that.
No, vitiligo is like,
it's a skin condition. Like you lose pigment.
yeah.
You know.
So what's leprosy?
Leprosy.
Let's go look at what leprosy is. Because there's different forms of leprosy. There's leprosy that you can have on the wall. There's leprosy in your clothing.
Caused by
There's leprosy
bacteria,
that you can have in your head.
Can you have it on the skin?
Yes, you could have leprosy on your skin.
How does it look?
Miriam, she was.
You know,
I guess that was her
Isolated
judgment.
from
because
society.
there's different forms of leprosy. Her skin turned white.
Yeah.
So, you know,
But
that's probably why he's saying
Yeah,
vitiligo,
that's what-
because
yeah.
there's different forms of leprosy.
Light or reddish skin
You know?
patches.
There's
and-
leprosy that's clean, that you could be clean with that leprosy. You know. Dang, y'all made me lose my train of thought. Where I was at? What was I going?
We went to the definition
I was going to
of
look at
leprosy.
leprosy, but before that, I was going somewhere else. Let's go.
We're
Let's
talking
let's
about
go to Luke. Let's go to Luke before that. I'm gonna hold that leprosy question,
The disease,
right?
germs.
Thank you, brother Dennis.
What you say?
Nah, he said sword won't depart from his house. Yes, that's Sister Sister Lunton gave it to me. Thank you, bro. Appreciate that. Luke chapter 4. And let's look at Luke's perspective of this and see if we learn anything from that. And pick it up at verse. Pick it up at verse 33.
Luke chapter 4 and verse 33. And in the synagogue there was a man which had a spirit of an unclean devil, and he cried out with a loud cry, saying, Let us alone. What have we to do with thee, thou Jesus of Nazareth? Art thou come to destroy us? I know thee who thou art, the Holy One of God. And Jesus rebuked him, saying, Hold thy peace, and come out of him.
Mm-hmm.
And when the devil had thrown him in the midst, he came out of him, and hurt him not. And they were all amazed, and spake among themselves, saying, What a word is this? For with authority and power he commanded the unclean spirits, and they come out. And the fame of him went out into every place of the country round about. And he arose out of the synagogue, and entered into Simon's house. And Simon's wife's mother was taken with a great fever, and they besought him for her. And he stood over her, and rebuked the fever, and it left her. And immediately she arose and ministered unto them.
Right, so again, we seen, even in all three accounts we read about the fever, it wasn't like he rebuked a devil out of her. Right? Like, even, we could go back and read the Matthew, Mark, right? Matthew and Mark's account of it. But it just said he healed her of the fever. Here we seen that he rebuked the fever. He healed other people that had diseases and had evil spirits on them. He healed that. But he just rebuked the fever. So was the fever a devil? I haven't seen yet that he said the fever was a devil.
Okay.
You get what I'm saying?
I accept that. I'm receiving it. But this is where my mind is also thinking. Remember when we said death and hell is going to be cast into the lake of fire?
Mm-hmm.
This fever is a condition of hell.
Yes.
Right. So that's like, is that the spirit of hell? You know what I'm saying? Like that we took, like, meaning causing the fever, because he said he rebuked the fever.
The fever.
And what is the fever? The fever is hell. You know, I don't know if I'm thinking too deep into it. You get what I'm
Is
saying?
the fever a spirit causing the fever?
The fever causes hell, because so he didn't go into specifics like I rebuke the fear. But if we're using, like, spiritual sense, we know that in the back end it's that.
We
So
wrestle
that's
not against flesh and blood.
so that's why I come to that conclusion. Like when he says it, in normal terms, I'll be like, yeah, oh, he rebuked the fever. But now me looking at it with kind of, hyper analyze, I'm like, wait a minute, the spirit, like, even this isn't, you get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I'm not saying there is or isn't, or I'm not trying to take away.
That's why, again, I even brought up the leprosy thing, because throughout the leprosy, he never said it was
the spirit of
any
leprosy or
spirit
anything.
behind
He
the
said
leprosy.
Okay.
You know, he
Right,
never
right.
said like, "Oh, be careful with the spirit of leprosy." He said,
Yeah.
"You got to beware of leprosy.
Yes.
Like, be careful with this disease, because
Okay.
this is contagious."
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? So is it contagious because there's a whole bunch of angels causing?
Right.
You see what I'm trying to get
okay,
you to
yeah,
think
yeah.
right here,
Okay. What about that?
right? Got it, bro. Let's finish reading that though.
Verse 39. And he stood over her, and rebuked the fever, and it left her, and immediately she arose and ministered unto them.
Mm-hmm.
Now when the sun was setting, all they that had any sick with divers diseases brought them unto him, and he laid his hands on every one of them, and healed them. And devils also came out of many, crying out, and saying, Thou art Christ, the Son of God. And he rebuking them suffered them not to speak, for they knew that he was Christ. And when it was day, he departed and went into a desert place. And the people sought him, and came unto him, and stayed him, and he should not.
All right, Brother Dennis gave us a script. Romans 5 and 12. Let's hit that. Hopefully that could clarify everything. Romans chapter 5 and verse... And let's go straight to it. 5 and 12.
Romans 5 and verse 12.
Mm-hmm.
Wherefore, as by one man sin entered into the world, and death by sin, and so death passed upon all men, for that all have sinned.
Right, so what came into the world because of man's sin? Death. So what works death? There's a lot of things that work death, you know? Like all kinds of diseases could bring about death.
Okay. So you've answered the question, but I kind of have that. What you just said right there is one of my questions as well. I'm kind of keep on going with my. So my other question is, what is the definition of death?
What is the definition of death? Which death?
That's the thing. Like, so there's
What?
like, I'm thinking like, okay, there's spirit of death, and then I remember growing up when they talk about, death is like being away from God, like separated from God. But then I'm thinking, then we was talking about the lake of fire. So the lake of fire, is that death? Like, meaning, like, it is death, meaning that's the second death. But now, what is the definition? Like, is it because
That death is complete absence. No God. There is no hope.
Right, hope, right.
There is no hope.
No hope,
Yes.
right.
There is no more hope for you in that death.
So that's why it says which death. Very good. Okay.
But the difference, what's death? Let's go to Genesis, right? Because then we'll see what's life. And that should tell you what death is. Death is yeah, Brother Dennis just added to that. He says there is a physical death and a spiritual death.
Right.
You know? But I think he's more on the physical part of the death, not the spiritual, right?
I mean, I just what the Bible says about, you know how it gives the definition of
Mhm.
what it, you know. So it's like, what is the Bible saying that death is? But I guess it's a little monotonous because I guess I understand the second death. I know the first death, so it's not. You know, I don't want to. I don't know if the question is coming out how I'm thinking it, you know, because I know the answers to it. I know there's like, you know, the second death, but now I'm like, damn, when I was writing down, I just wrote down my notes. What is the definition? So now I'm like, I'm asking the question, and I'm like, damn, what was I thinking? How was I trying to think about it? But yeah, the definition of death, I guess, you know,
Mhm.
is it separation from God? Because that's how, you know,
So you know what? We're gonna look up the definition of what death means, and we
Right.
can actually read this
Yeah,
this
yeah.
as well too, right?
yeah.
Genesis, what are we going to?
We Genesis 2.
Because if I ask you what is death, like what you gonna say? Like how you gonna answer that?
I mean, I think you referring to the first stuff off the top of my head.
The first.
So read the definition of death right here.
Death is the permanent cessation of all biological functions that sustain a living organism.
Mm-hmm.
It is a universal and inevitable process for all life forms.
Okay.
Okay.
Right, inevitable. Which we know not everybody gonna die, right? But let's see how man even became, because a living soul, because it would be a dead soul, right? So the definition of death is what?
I already.
The definition of death is a what was that?
We can go over it, but the definition gave me what I needed. There's terrestrial and, you know, there's two bodies, right? So
Mhm.
that's why Dennis's answer, spiritual,
Spiritual
there's
death.
spiritual death, and then, but we all have to be changed. So that's why there's which death,
No,
I
and
guess.
there's also not all of us are gonna die. We just change back into another
Right,
life.
the twin, alright, that's all. But you could go ahead. I think I answered it in my head out of the definition.
All right, let's read it anyway, because we already here.
Yeah.
2 and 7.
Genesis 2 and verse 7. And the Lord God formed man of the dust of the ground, and breathed into his nostrils the breath of life, and man became a living soul.
Now read that definition again.
Biological.
Death is the permanent cessation of all biological functions that sustain a living organism.
So what sustains us? The breath of life. He takes away his spirit. What happens? He die. Right? Go ahead.
It is a universal and inevitable process for all life forms.
Mm-hmm.
It's the absence.
Just one
First
second.
death would be known as the absence of God's breath, spirit.
Ecclesiastes 8. That's why he read it's inevitable, because no one really has the power to hold that breath of life. It could put you on a breathing machine, pump air into you all day. You still won't be alive. You know? And it's breath that we breathing, right? Why are you not alive? Read Ecclesiastes 8 and 8.
Ecclesiastes chapter 8 and verse 8. There is no man that hath power over the spirit to retain the spirit.
Right? So that breath of life God breathed into man, no man has power to retain it. If God takes it, that's it. You know, you could be pumping that person, plugging that person, all machines you want, you cannot retain it. Right? Go ahead.
Neither hath he power in the day of death.
You don't have power in the day of death. And what?
And there is no discharge in that war.
Ain't no discharge in that war. You can't fight. You can't beat that. You're not gonna be able to beat it, unless God is the one that's gonna deliver you out of death. You're not gonna be able to beat it, right? And what?
Neither shall wickedness deliver those that are given to it.
Mm-hmm.
All this have I seen, and applied my heart unto every work that is done under the sun. There is a time wherein one man ruleth over another to his own hurt.
That was it for that. That was good for that. Was that good for you, or?
That's good. That's good. That's good. Yeah. Just going over my notes. Thank you for that.
And speaking about the leprosy now, let's hit that leprosy. Leviticus 14. Leviticus 14. let's read the law of leprosy here. This is actually a law for leprosy, just for that specific, like all the leprosy, that everything that falls under leprosy here. Go ahead, my brother. Verse 1.
Leviticus 14 and verse 1. And the Lord spake unto Moses, saying, This shall be the law of the leper in the day of his cleansing. He shall be brought unto the priest, and the priest shall go forth out of the camp, and the priest shall look, and, behold, if the plague of leprosy be healed in the leper, then shall the priest command to take...
Pause right there. Just repeat your question. Give him that mic so you repeat the question online so they could hear it. Because they don't even know what I'm answering right now, I don't think.
What is leprosy?
Yeah, it came out.
What is leprosy?
That's just it. Just what is leprosy?
Well, actually no, because it wasn't just that. It was like more so because I was under the impression that it was like kind of like the Michael Jackson thing. I thought that was like leprosy, and so like I just wanted to make sure like because you said it was different types, and you said this one was like how they get healed from it or something like that. You said?
Brother Dennis says let's start in 13. So let's go to 13. All right. So these are all different skin conditions. He's given us the law in 14, but let's start in 13. Go ahead.
Leviticus 13 and verse 1. And the Lord spake unto Moses and Aaron, saying, What a man shall have in the skin of his flesh arising, a scab or bright spot, and it be in the skin of his flesh like the plague of leprosy, then he shall be brought unto Aaron the priest, or unto one of his sons the priest. And the priest shall look on the plague in the skin of the flesh, and when the hair in the plague is turned white, and the plague in sight be deeper than the skin of his flesh, it is a plague of leprosy, and the priest shall look on him and pronounce him unclean.
Right, so this leprosy, it affects the hair, right? It has an indent in the skin, right? He's explained to you exactly how it looks, right? So we see this leprosy, it doesn't sound like vertigo, right? This is the hair turning white. It almost sounds like the person is, the skin turning white. It's an indentation in the skin, right? Because it says, and the priest shall look on the plague in the skin of the flesh, and when the hair in the plague is turned white, and the plague in the sight be deeper than the skin of his flesh. So it's deeper. It's like an indent in the skin. Like you get like a scab, and you pull it out, and it's like it goes like, like it's deeper in there, and then he's saying that hair turns white in there, right? Go ahead, though.
Verse 4. If the bright spot be white in the skin of his flesh, and in sight be not deeper than the skin, and the hair thereof be not turned white, then the priest shall shut up him that hath the plague 7 days.
All right, so even there we see quarantine. We got to quarantine you. And when we go back to 14, right? If we go to 14, he read it. It says, and the priest shall go forth out of the camp, because that person was already a quarantine, right? Outside the camp, right? Go ahead, though.
Verse 5. And the priest shall look on him the 7th day, and, behold, if the plague in his sight be at a stay, and the plague spread not in the skin, then the priest shall shut him up 7 days more.
You see, even after he's already established, okay, this plague has stayed, it's not spreading throughout the skin, still give you another 7 day of quarantine, just to make sure that it doesn't go full blown on us, right? Because even in science, you see it. They'll put a little, what do you call those things? I can't remember the name. They put them in a little dish, right? The little germs or whatever. I forgot the name they call it. Yeah, something like that, right? Yeah. And within a couple of days, you'll see it start to grow. Even when you get a cold, right? You don't get the cold. As soon if I touch this brother right here, and I go and I touch my face too, and I get that. I'm not gonna get it right away. It's gonna take a few days for that to multiply inside of me and whatever.
Petri dish.
Petri dish. Thank you. She said it though.
That's crazy.
Go ahead.
Verse 6. And the priest shall look on him again the seventh day. And, behold, if the plague be somewhat dark, and the plague spread not in the skin, the priest shall pronounce him clean. It is but a scab, and he shall wash his clothes and be clean. But if the scab spread much abroad in the skin, after that he hath been seen of the priest for his cleansing, he shall be seen of the priest again. And if the priest see that, behold, the scab spreadeth in the skin, then the priest shall pronounce him unclean. It is a leprosy. When the plague of leprosy is in a man, then he shall be brought unto the priest, and the priest shall see him, and behold, if the rising be white in the skin, and it have turned the hair white, and there be quick raw flesh in the rising.
You see what he's describing? Quick raw flesh. So this flesh is not just like your skin just turned white, like how vitiligo would be, right? This is raw skin, right? Like there's a condition that looks almost similar to it.
Like eczema or something?
Yeah, it makes the skin almost looks raw,
Yeah,
like
rashy.
it's, you know, psoriasis as well. Is these are I don't know if it's leprosy or not. That I don't know if psoriasis and eczema is leprosy. I wouldn't, you know, but it looks similar to what is being described here. Go ahead.
Verse 11. It is an old leprosy in the skin of his flesh, and the priest shall pronounce him unclean, and shall not shut him up, for he is unclean. And if a leprosy break out abroad in the skin, and the leprosy cover all the skin of him that hath the plague, from his head even to his foot, wheresoever the priest looketh, then the priest shall consider, and, behold, if the leprosy have covered all his flesh, he shall pronounce him clean that hath the plague. It is all turned white, he is clean.
Right. So if all his skin turns white, he's saying, "Nah, you're clean." That leprosy is he's saying you're considered clean for that.
So if that happens, is he like no longer Israel? Is he now Gentile? I'm just playing.
No. Like Miriam had leprosy, and you know, like
Yeah.
she was still an Israelite. I hear you though. Go ahead.
Verse 14. But when raw flesh appeareth in him, he shall be unclean.
So we see what makes it unclean is the raw flesh. So his whole flesh could be white, right? But when the raw flesh starts to appear and it starts looking like, you know,
Yeah.
that's when he's saying it's let's skip to 40. Brother Dennis said skip to 40. Go ahead.
Leviticus 13 and verse 40. And the man whose hair is fallen off his head, he is bald, yet is he clean. And he that hath his hair fallen off from the part of his head toward his face, he is forehead bald.
He's for Brother Dennis. Read that again for me.
Verse 41. And he that hath his hair fallen off from the part of his head toward his face, he is forehead bald.
He's forehead bald. So, you know, even that is a form of leprosy, right? Forehead bald. I'm not forehead bald. Go ahead.
Yet is he clean. And if there be in the bald head or bald forehead a white reddish sore, it is a leprosy sprung up in his bald head or his bald forehead.
Right, so notice what makes him unclean. If he has the reddish sore, that a white reddish sore that appears, right?
Yeah.
That makes him unclean, right? Go ahead, my bro.
Verse 43. Then the priest shall look upon it, and, behold, if the rising of the sore be white reddish in his bald head, or in his bald forehead, as the leprosy appeareth in the skin of the flesh, he is a leprous man, he is unclean. The priest shall pronounce him utterly unclean. His plague is in his head. And the leper in whom the plague is, his clothes shall be rent, and his head bare, and he shall put a covering upon his upper lip, and shall cry, Unclean, unclean. All the days wherein the plague shall be in him, he shall be defiled. He is unclean. He shall dwell alone. Without the camp shall his habitation be. The garment also that the plague of leprosy is in, whether it be a woolen garment, or a linen garment, whether it be in the warp, or woof, of linen, or of woolen, whether in a skin, or in anything made of skin.
Right, so you see the leprosy could actually transfer to these things. Anything that's made out of skin, wool, right, linen, all these things could be transferred to could actually contract leprosy. Go ahead.
Verse 49. And if the plague be greenish or reddish in the garment, or in the skin, either in the warp, or in the woof, or in anything of skin, it is a plague of leprosy. It shall be showed unto the priest. And the priest shall look upon the plague, and shut up it that hath the plague 7 days.
So that's great. It makes me wonder now, like, if you can't grow a beard, like, is that a form of leprosy?
I can't grow. I get like patchy. That's why I gotta like keep it.
You know?
If I,
No, you ask that. Somebody they get the roller. They have a roller.
oh, derma rollers.
To help encourage them to grow.
Go ahead.
Verse 50. And the priest shall look upon the plague, and shut up it that hath the plague 7 days. And he shall look on the plague on the 7th day.
Skip to chapter 14. Let's get into 14. Start at verse 1.
Leviticus 14 and verse 1. And the Lord spake unto Moses, saying, This shall be the law of the leper in the day of his cleansing. He shall be brought unto the priest. And the priest shall go forth out of the camp. And the priest shall look, and, behold, if the plague of leprosy be healed in the leper, then shall the priest command to take for him that is to be cleansed 2 birds alive and clean, and cedar wood, and scarlet, and hyssop. And the priest shall command that one of the birds be killed in the earth in an earthen vessel over running water. As for the living bird, he shall take it, and the cedar wood, and the scarlet, and the hyssop, and shall dip them in the living bird in the blood, and shall dip them and the living bird in the blood of the bird that was killed over the running water. And he shall sprinkle upon him that is to be cleansed from the leprosy 7 times, and shall pronounce him clean, and shall let the living bird loose into an open field.
Right, so this is how the leper would actually get cleansed from the leprosy, by doing this sacrifice right here, right? Because he shows you the plague of the leprosy in garments and the skin, like, Deuteronomy chapter 24. Because this is where he tells us to, like, be careful with this plague, right? Pick it up at verse 8.
Deuteronomy chapter 24 and verse 8. Take heed in the plague of leprosy, that thou observe diligently, and do according to all that the priests the Levites shall teach you, as I commanded them, so ye shall observe to do.
Right, so he's telling you got to be careful with this plague because it's very contagious. Right? He even tells you, he even gives you a little reminder. Go ahead.
Remember what the Lord thy God did unto Miriam, by the
He's like,
way.
you remember what happened to Miriam? You got to be careful with this plague of leprosy, right? After what?
After that you were come forth out of Egypt. When thou dost lend thy brother anything, thou shalt not.
That's good for you. Let's go on into something else, right?
So Miriam had a clean type of leprosy because her turned.
No, her leprosy, she was unclean.
She was unclean.
Yeah, she
because
was
turned-
unclean.
Her skin turned white.
But she was still unclean for 7 days. Like, the Lord said if I spit in her face, like, she got to be put out the camp. Right? So is that good for you, my bro?
yes, it is.
I mean, if it's vertigo or not, I can't see that it is. You know, there's different, different. We don't read all this different leprosies because there's way more different
Yeah.
leprosies than that. But
Thank you.
All right, praise him.
Yeah, I have a question. So, I ran into a conversation about IVF babies, which is like in vitro fertilization. So they created in the lab. So I was wondering, like, do IVF babies, the children that are like created in the lab, do they still get the same regards as children created in the womb? Because those are actual people, like humans.
Well, who does life come from? That would be my question to you.
The Lord.
Who gives life?
The Lord.
Who gave that baby life?
The Lord.
So they're human just like another human that was born in the womb. You know, because you can't get life unless the Lord give you life. You know, Yeah, they just inject it into the mother. So whether or not this person or who wants to carry it. I actually was watching a story about this Gentile lady who had a black baby because they gave her the wrong egg.
Oh, that was like 2 months ago.
That was 2 months ago?
Yeah, that was like 2 months ago.
And
Yeah,
they sued, of course, the black parents, and they eventually got their child back after like 6 months. But yeah, yeah. So the child is not being grown in a tube, you know. Yeah.
Okay. I thought they was like outside the womb.
No, apparently China is working on a womb, like an artificial womb. Yeah.
Right. People harvest their actually my sister, she's like in her late 30s and she has no children and she has no husband. So yeah, so she wants to harvest, or she has been harvesting her eggs while they're still healthy, I guess. The good ones, you know, they get old. So I don't know. Is that lawful? Is it unlawful? I don't know. Might be a little weird. There's no law against
Yeah, there's
it.
no war against it. There's also like that's not.
Let's go to
that's
Acts
not successful.
Acts 17.
As of right now, you're just spending like thousands of dollars on the most.
Acts chapter 17, and we're gonna pick it up at
All you're gonna do is stress out about it. That's what you do.
pick it up at verse 24.
Sorry, where are we, bro?
Acts 17 and 24, verse 24. So we're gonna see who gives life to all flesh, right?
Acts chapter 17 and verse 24. God that made the world and all things therein, seeing that he is Lord of heaven and earth, dwelleth not in temples made with hands, neither is worshipped with men's hands, as though he needed anything, seeing he giveth to all life and breath.
He giveth to all what?
Life.
Life and breath. So if that baby comes out, even if it was in vitro and all that other stuff, if it comes out and it takes that breath of life, guess who gave it that breath of life? Because I literally saw when my children breathed the breath of life. I thought they were dead. I was like,
Nah, you was
are
ready
they
to
dead?
fight. What you talking about? You was ready to fight.
Huh?
You was ready to fight.
I was there the whole time, bro. And I'm like, are they dead? But then it's like, as soon as they pulled out the fluid out of her mouth and out of her nose, I was like, wow. That blew my mind. I was like, wow, like, he giveth life to all flesh. There's some that come out the womb and don't take in that breath of life. So he's the one that has power over that. Did you finish that off?
No.
Go ahead.
And all things.
That was it?
Yes.
Give me 26.
Verse 26. And hath made of one blood all nations of men, for to dwell on all the face of the earth, and hath determined the times before appointed, and the bounds of their habitation.
Right, so he's even determined the bounds of their habitation. All right, this baby's going to live till 50 years. This person's going to live to 100. This person's going to live to, you know what I'm saying? He determines the bounds. Peace, my bro. Get home safe. All right?
Yeah, I figured that. I just was
Let's go to Job 12. Job chapter 12. And pick it up at verse. Start from 7.
Job chapter 12 and verse 7. But ask now the beasts, and they shall teach thee. Ask the fowls of the air, and they shall tell thee. Or speak to the earth, and it shall teach thee. and the fishes of the sea shall declare unto thee.
Now he's telling you creation is going to teach you. It's about to tell you something. What is it about to tell us?
Who knoweth not in all these that the hand of the Lord hath wrought this?
Right? In what?
In whose hand is the soul of every living thing, and the breath of all mankind.
In I'm over there stuttering. In the hands, in whose hands is the soul of every living thing. Every living thing that breathes the breath of life. Just like what he said in Genesis 6, right? He says, all that breathe the breath of life, he's killing everything. Just whatever he told Noah to put into the ark. You know, animals, man, children, doesn't matter. You know, he gives life to all. So if something had life, God gave it life. You know? Did you finish that?
Yes.
All right. Give me 11.
Verse 11. Doth not the ears try words, and the mouth taste his meat?
12.
With the ancient is wisdom, and in length of days understanding.
So this is where we get the wisdom from to like find out, okay, about these things, like whether or not, you know, is that a living person because, you know, they wasn't done the natural way. Like Jesus was done the natural way, you know. Like he would be like what you call in vitro.
I mean,
You know, not saying that it was in vitro. I'm just saying
but
like,
it's like
you know, like the Holy Spirit overshadowed her. We don't know what happened that took place that child, that body in Mary. You know. Was that good for you, sis, or you need some more on that? Is there another question? Let me check online. No, I don't see anything on. Brothers and sisters, y'all a little too loud back there. I could hear you all online. Thank you.
There was a question, but I think the person deleted it.
They deleted it?
Yeah, she was asking if, I think it's a she in the profile picture. She was asking if you could explain the understanding of dreams.
The understanding of dreams?
She didn't give much either, but when I went back it was gone, so I think she did.
The understanding of dreams.
we touched on that like my question like a week or two ago.
Mm-hmm.
I asked like a similar question.
What was your question?
No, about what are dreams, remember? And you said sometimes we expect sometimes it's a message from the Most High.
Yeah.
No. You good.
But she's saying the understanding of dreams, like how do we understand? Like because the question is not there, right?
Yeah, no, it was there. It's the first comment that says Shalom brother. She commented it, so she deleted it. But it was about dreams though, so I don't know. She didn't give much.
I mean, sis, if you're still listening, you could repost your question and you can see if we could attempt to answer it. If not, I got some teachers online here. I mean, let's look at something about dreams. I mean, go to let me just find it from Miss Job.
Job 33.
Oh, you got it? Thank you, bro. I don't know why this thing is not finding it right now. It gave me every other scripture. Thank you, Brother Dennis. Job 33. Thank you, Brother Frazier. Pick it up at verse 13.
Job chapter 33 and verse 13. Why dost thou strive against him? For he giveth not account of any of his matters. For God speaketh once, yea, twice, yet man perceiveth it not. In a dream, in a vision of the night, when deep sleep falleth upon men.
So why is God giving man all these dreams, right? When deep sleep falleth upon man and the slumbering upon the bed, what does God do?
Then he openeth the ears of men, and sealeth their instruction, that he may withdraw man from his purpose, and hide pride from man.
Right, so like you could even see that with Joseph, right? Joseph needed that dream to hide pride from him. Because he would have been prideful and be like, I'm not taking this child to be my son. But an angel had to appear to Joseph in a dream and tell him, don't be afraid to take that child as your son, right? Or marry Mary, you know, for the child is a holy thing, you know. But we see, it says, in a dream, in a vision of the night, when deep sleep falleth upon men, and slumbering upon the bed, then he opened up the ears of men. He had to open up Joseph's eyes, and we could read that as well, right? And seal up their instructions, that he may withdraw man from his purpose and hide from his purpose, right? Because man has their own purpose, God has his purpose, right? And hide pride from man, right? This is so let's go read that. Matthew chapter Matthew chapter 1, verse 18. Because let's see why Joseph got that dream. And I'm not sure if I'm answering your question, sis, if you are still online, but we don't really have your question. But we're just going to speak about the dream and how this dream was given to him to hide pride from him, right? Matthew chapter 1, and pick it up at verse 18.
Now the birth of Jesus Christ was on this wise. When as his mother Mary was espoused to Joseph, before they came together, she was found with child of the Holy Ghost. Then Joseph, her husband, being a just man, and not willing to make her a public example, was minded to put her away privily.
Yeah, because he's that's a little messed up, right? Because the woman you're supposed to marry, she's now pregnant. This is why he wants to put her away. He's like, I'm not going to make a spectacle out of it, right? Get you stoned and all that stuff, because she would have had to get stoned, right? But what?
But while he thought on these things,
Because he's thinking about it. He's thinking about it, right? So he goes to sleep. And what happened?
behold, the angel of the Lord appeared unto him in a dream,
Because
saying,
he wasn't awake. He was sleeping. It would have been a vision, like a awake vision if he was awake, right? Or like a trance, like how you see Balaam went into a trance while he was still awake. You know? Or even Peter as well, right? But was it Peter or falling into a trance? I believe it was Peter. I could be wrong with that. I might have to go back on that. Go ahead.
Thou son of David, fear not to take unto thee Mary thy wife, for that which is conceived in her is of the Holy Ghost.
All right, so you see, it goes with what we just read in Job, that God had to give him this dream to seal up his purpose. His purpose was to do what? I'm divorcing this woman. I'm going to do this secretly, put her away, but I'm not marrying her. But God had to give him a dream, had the angel go to him and speak to him to let him know, like, nah, she hasn't done anything wrong. You know, it's okay to make her your wife. You know? And what?
Verse 21, and she shall bring forth a son, and thou shalt call his name Jesus, for he shall save his people from their sins.
Right, so you could see the faith of Joseph, man. It's like, That is faith. You know? Joseph had to have a lot of faith to actually even go through this. You know, people were talking. You know? It's a small town. Like, before they leave Bethany, somebody already know who this is. Things used to happen up here. And before you would find out, I would know in St. Lucia. And we didn't even have phones.
I hate that.
Which is, I was like, how do we know this and the person that's in this country don't even know that this person just died next door? And we already know. How the news travels so fast, I don't even know. We didn't even have phones back then like that. Like, if I had to call somebody, I had to go to my neighbor's house. Like, you know. But news travels fast. Is there any other questions? You got a question? No? No? No question?
I think we talked about it before, but the idea of if you can be tested in your dreams.
No.
In your dream?
You gotta hear it.
Yeah, you could be tested in your dreams. Because what if that thing is still in you? I know God tests me in my dreams. Sometimes I fail. It's like, you know, let's go look at Peter's dream. 'Cause that was a kind of a test, right?
Yeah, sure. He was like, I saw Lord, right?
Acts chapter 10. And let's see. Oh, it was Peter who fell into a trance. It's actually in here, 10. Right, so let's pick it up from verse 10, right? 10 and 10. It's crazy. He brought me right to it. So now we know it was Peter who fell into the trance.
Acts chapter 10 and verse 10. And he became very hungry and would have eaten. But while they made ready, he fell into a trance and saw heaven opened and a certain vessel descending unto him, as it had been a great sheet knit at the four corners, and let down to the earth, wherein all manner of four-footed beasts of the earth, and wild beasts, and creeping things, and fowls of the air. And there came a voice to him, Rise, Peter, kill and eat.
Right, so this voice that came to him, we see that is written in red, right? Jesus is telling him, Peter, rise, kill and eat. But this is all manner of footed beasts. Like, God might test you. Like, you know, you see somebody that maybe you like shrimp or maybe you like lobster. And God said, eat. Are you going to eat? But this is not about food, right? We know this is not about food. This is about calling a man common or unclean, right? But go ahead.
But Peter said, Not so, Lord, for I have never eaten anything that is common or unclean.
Because he's having this dream and he's thinking, is God telling me to eat these unclean animals? And he's telling God, not so. So in your dream, even if something happens in your dream and you know it's not right, you also have to be like, not so. Right? You got to be at that point where you say, not so, Lord. You know, I'm not going to do that. You know? Go ahead.
Verse 15. And the voice spake unto him again the second time, What God hath cleansed, that call not thou common.
Right, so we see that it was all about man being Peter actually interprets the dream for us and tell us what it was about, right? Because we know Jesus is not talking about food here. But I was about to go someplace and then I lost my train of thought. Give me a second. Because we know sometimes dream could come from the multitude of business, right? So, you know, sometimes your dreams might not even be from God. It's just dreams you came up on your own. You know, so not every dream is from God. Like, let's go to Deuteronomy 13, actually.
Deuteronomy 13.
Yeah, Deuteronomy 13. And your question again, repeat it. Are dreams test?
Can you be tested?
Can you be tested in your dream? Well, this is not a dream, but this is a dreamer. And he's about to test you to see if you follow God's word because he had a dream. Right? Go ahead. 13 and 1.
Deuteronomy 13 and verse 1. If there arise among you a prophet or a dreamer of dreams, and giveth thee a sign or a wonder, and the sign or wonder come to pass, whereof he spake unto thee, saying, Let us go after other gods, which thou hast not known, and let us serve them. Thou shalt not hearken unto the words of that prophet, or that dreamer of dreams. For the Lord your God proveth you, to know whether ye love the Lord.
Actually, man, we don't even need to read this one. It's just getting to me. Solomon. God tested Solomon in his dream. Let's go look at that. Let's abandon that. Let's go. All right, 1 Kings chapter 3. First Kings, I said chapter 3, right?
Yes.
Because everybody else would ask for, you know what I'm saying, riches, glory, and honor. And God tested him right there, and he asked for something very wise, you know, because with wisdom is going to bring glory, honor, right, riches, and everything else. But if he would have just asked for riches, there is no wisdom in that. What if you don't know how to spend? What if you don't know how to run the kingdom? You get what I'm saying? What if he would have asked for honor, right? Oh, you got the honor, but you don't know how to retain this honor. You know? So, but with wisdom, he asked for one of the smartest things, right? Pick it up at verse, I said 3, right?
Yes.
Chapter 3. Pick it up at verse 1.
1 Kings chapter 3 and verse 1. And Solomon made affinity with Pharaoh, king of Egypt, and took Pharaoh's daughter, and brought her into the city of David, until he had made an end of building his own house, and the house of the Lord, and the wall of Jerusalem round about. Only the people sacrificed in high places, because there was no house built unto the name of the Lord until those days. And Solomon loved the Lord, walking in the statutes of David his father. Only he sacrificed and burnt incense in high places. And the king went to Gibeon to sacrifice there, for that was the great high place. 1,000 burnt offerings did Solomon offer upon that altar. In Gibeon the Lord appeared to Solomon in a dream by night, and God said, Ask what I shall give thee.
Right, so this is great test. Ask me anything and I will give it to you. What you gonna ask for? Right? What are you gonna ask for? I'm asking y'all that. What are y'all gonna ask for?
You know, wisdom is the best thing to ask
Wisdom is
for.
the best thing to ask for, right? Because with wisdom, he got everything else. Right? Go ahead.
Verse 6. And Solomon said, Thou hast showed unto thy servant David, my father, great mercy, according as he walked before thee in truth, and in righteousness, and in uprightness of heart with thee. But thou hast kept for him this great kindness,
Mhm.
that thou hast given him a son to sit on his throne, as it is this day. And now, O Lord my God, thou hast made thy servant king instead of David my father. I am but a little child. I know not how to go out or come in.
I don't even know how to be a king. I don't know how to go out. I don't know how to come in. I don't know how to command all these people, and I don't know how to do this. Right? So what does he ask for?
Verse 8. And thy servant is in the midst of thy people, which thou hast chosen, a great people that cannot be numbered, nor counted for multitude. Give therefore thy servant an understanding heart to judge thy people, that I may discern between good and bad. For who is able to judge this thy so great a people? And the speech pleased the Lord, that Solomon had asked this thing.
Oh, you see, he had a good choice, right? Although God appeared to him in a dream and said, "Just ask whatever you want, and I'll give it to you." He could have been super stupid and just asked for something crazy, right? But he was like, "Nah, I want wisdom. Give me wisdom." Because wisdom is what, y'all?
Getting over understanding.
The principal thing. Yes, it is the beginning of your understanding as well, but it's the principal thing. That is the thing you need the most. Wisdom. Right? Read 11 again for me.
And God said unto him, Because thou hast asked this thing, and hast not asked for thyself long life, neither hast thou asked riches for thyself, nor hast asked for the life of thine enemies, but hast asked for thyself understanding to discern judgment.
Oh, you see, he didn't do it for personal gain. He asked God wisdom so I could judge your people, so I could know how to go in and out, so I could, so I could rule over these people. How do I do this righteously, God? That's what he asked for, right? Because God said, because you have not asked for long life, you could ask for long life. God, give me 200 years, so I could rule for 200, for 80 years, right? Whatever. He didn't ask for that, right? Neither did he ask for riches, right? Nor did he say, "Yo, kill all my enemies, God." He could have just did that. He could have said, "God, I want you to kill all the Edomites, all the Moabites." He didn't say none of that, right? He asked for wisdom, right? Go ahead.
Verse 12. Behold, I have done according to thy words.
Mm-hmm.
Lo, I have given thee a wise and an understanding heart.
What he gave him?
A wise and understanding heart.
Because first, to actually get the wisdom, he's going to need a mind that could actually receive that wisdom and take it in. So what does God give him? A wise and understanding heart. That's why Solomon said he read many books, and he had a wise and understanding heart. He was able to understand things that normal people would not understand. Because you could have a dumb heart, and you go read this, you won't understand. Not this, but let's say anything. And you won't understand it. Because God hasn't given you that understanding in heart, right? So God said, "Behold, I have done according to thy words. I have given thee a wise and understanding heart." Because now he could take in that wisdom. All these books he read, he could retain it. He could apply it. Go ahead.
So that there was none like thee before thee,
Mm-hmm.
neither after thee shall any arise like unto thee.
Because I don't want you to think that Solomon just woke up and he just had wisdom in his mind. Like God uploaded wisdom in his mind. No, he read books, right? He sought out many proverbs, right? There were people before Solomon, so he was reading all these books. All these books. Exodus, Genesis, right? He's reading all these books and he's getting wisdom. But what else did wisdom also give him because he asked wisdom? Go ahead.
Verse 13. And I have also given thee that which thou hast not asked, both riches and honor, so that there shall not be any among the kings like unto thee all thy days.
Mm-hmm. But there goes the stipulation. Go ahead.
And if thou wilt walk in my ways, to keep my statutes and my commandments, as thy father David did walk, then I will lengthen thy days.
Oh, God was like, "I'm going to even give you long life." All the things he didn't ask for, God was like, "I'm going to give it to you. All you got to do is keep my commandments, though, just like your dad did." Right? And what happened to Solomon?
Verse 15. And Solomon awoke, and behold, it was a dream.
It was a dream. Right? He dreaming. Right? But he passed the test because he chose the right thing, which is wisdom was the principal thing. Right? Go ahead.
And he came to Jerusalem, and stood before the ark of the covenant of the Lord, and offered up burnt offerings, and offered peace offerings, and made a feast to all his servants.
All right, matter of fact, let's go see an example of this wisdom now, since he got it. Go ahead.
Verse 16. Then came there 2 women that were harlots unto the king, and stood before him. And one woman said, O my lord, I and this woman dwell in one house, and I was delivered of a child with her in the house. And it came to pass the 3rd day after that I was delivered, that this woman was delivered also, and we were together. There was no stranger with us in the house, save we 2 in the house. And this woman's child died in the night, because she overlaid it.
Right? So we don't have Maury back then. We don't have, right, you know what I'm saying, paternity tests and all that stuff. How do we find out who is the real mother of this child? How do we find out? And I use the Solomon tricks all the time on my children. This is how I be knowing. I'm like, all right, somebody say this is theirs. I'm like,
Is this the one?
do you want me to just take this and throw this in the garbage? The one that says yes, it ain't yours. That's how I be catching my children all the time. Right? Go ahead.
Verse 20. And she arose at midnight, and took my son from beside me, while thy handmaid slept, and laid it in her bosom, and laid her dead child in my bosom. And when I rose in the morning to give my child suck, behold, it was dead. But when I considered it in the morning, behold, it was not my son, which I did bear. And the other woman said, Nay, but the living is my son, and the dead is thy son. And this said, No, but the dead is thy son, and the living is my son. Thus they spake before the king.
So the king is like, what's going on now? Because he just asked God to give him what? Wisdom. Because he doesn't know how to go in or how to come out. Right? So now he has to judge between these 2 women. Is he going to look at the baby and like, all right, the baby has your eyes, it has your ears. You can't even tell who a baby looks like when they're just born most of the time, you know? Unless he's an exact split image of his father or mother. Like, right? Go ahead.
Verse 23. Then said the king, The one saith, This is my son that liveth, and thy son is dead. And the other saith, Nay, but thy son is dead, and my son is the living. And the king said, Bring me a sword. And they brought a sword before the king. And the king said, Divide the living child in 2, and give half to the one and half to the other.
That must have sounded crazy in the ears of everybody. It's like, what is this king doing? But he's on to something. Go ahead.
Then spake the woman whose the living child was unto the king, for her bowels yearned upon her son. And she said, O my lord, give her the living child, and in no wise slay it. But the other said, Let it be neither mine nor thine, but divided.
Because the other one is what? It's lying. She lying. That's not her child. She'd rather see that child dead than anybody have it. Because she lost hers. So you should lose yours too. Misery like company, no? Go ahead.
Then the king answered and said, Give her the living child, and in no wise slay it. She is the mother thereof. And all Israel heard of the judgment which the king had judged, and they feared the king, for they saw that the wisdom of God was in him to do judgment.
Right? So that was answer to your dreams, right? If God tests you in your dreams, and we can actually see that God tests Solomon here in his dream, what would he ask for? And he asked for the principal thing, which was wisdom. Right? Matter of fact, let's go read that. It's in Proverbs. Proverbs chapter 4. Proverbs chapter 4. Hold on, is that the one I'm looking for? Yes.
Alright, peace, guys.
Peace.
Pick it up in verse 1. Peace, get home safe, bro.
Proverbs chapter 4 and verse 1. Hear, ye children, the instruction of a father, and attend to know understanding. For I give you good doctrine. Forsake ye not my law. For I was my father's son, tender and only beloved in the sight of my mother. He taught me also, and said unto me, Let thine heart retain my words. Keep my commandments and live.
Right? Keep his commandments and live. And if we do that, what we doing?
Get wisdom. Get understanding.
Mhm.
Forget it not. Neither decline from the words of my mouth. Forsake her not, and she shall preserve thee. Love her, and she shall keep thee. Wisdom is the principal thing. Therefore get wisdom, and with all thy getting, get understanding.
Right? So we see that wisdom is the principal thing. That's why Solomon asked for wisdom, right? Is that good for you? Is there any other questions? Nope. Let's see if there's anything online. Nope. All right, then if there's no further questions, face Jerusalem and close out then.
Our Father which art in heaven,
Our Father which art in heaven,
hallowed be thy name.
hallowed be thy name.
Thy kingdom come.
Thy kingdom come.
Thy will be done in earth,
Thy will be done in earth,
as it is in heaven.
as it is in heaven.
Give us this day our daily bread,
Give us this day our daily bread,
and forgive us our debts,
and forgive us our debts,
as we forgive our debtors.
as we forgive our debtors.
And lead us not into temptation,
And lead us not into temptation,
but deliver us from evil.
but deliver us from evil.
For thine is the kingdom,
For thine is the kingdom,
and the power,
and the power,
and the glory,
and the glory,
forever.
forever.
In Jesus' mighty name.
In Jesus' mighty name,
Amen.
amen.
We play game. We just started.
All right.
We're not online, right? That's it?